FM.
Audition. There we are. So, well, first of all, before I get started, we know each other from Solent at university. You know, we're HPA and we done. Yep. So, if you could start off with an introduction. So, who you are, what sport you play, all that type of thing.
I'm Nathan Blackie. I'm a wheelchair athlete who has competed for Great Britain at junior level and Scotland at senior level.
Cool. So, you do wheelchair racing. Did you do any other sports prior to that?
Yeah, so I started playing football. I was a goalie in a disabled team and enjoyed that for a few years. And then it was like I had surgery done, which means I couldn't play as often anymore. And kind of while I couldn't play, I fell into wheelchair racing by accident. And yeah.
So, you started in 2010, I believe, after major surgery.
Yeah, so I just had major surgery done, so I couldn't be up on my feet playing football like I wanted to be. And yeah, I met Martin, who worked at a local special needs school near where I live, and I think it was doing a multi-sport event type thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he just came to me afterwards and went, "Do you want to come in and try a race chair?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll have a go." And at first, I thought it was going to be for fitness while I could football, and then I'm still doing it now. So yeah.
Cool. So, for wheelchair racing is part of the athletics type of. Yeah. So, let me just go through the events that you do. So you do the 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, 800 meters, and a 1,500 meters.
Yeah.
All of those. So, why did you do those in particular? I'm assuming there must be more meters after that. So.
Basically, they're the only ones that happen on the track for my classification. Normally, it's just I get put, like the ones I've competed in, I've just been entered into them by the coaches that have entered me into stuff. So normally I choose 1, 2, and 4, and then if some of those aren't available, I'd go up to 8 maybe. But my preferred events are the short ones, 1, 2, and 4. So
the easiest ones for you.
On paper, because they're shorter, it sounds easier, but actually it's not.
No. I mean, when you do an event, you make it look easy, but when someone else takes part, it's difficult.
Yeah.
So you did it from school, after school. How did you get spotted by a Scottish team? You know, how did that come about?
My coach literally mentioned it to the Scotland coach that my dad was born in Scotland, so I can technically compete for Scotland. And then next time I saw him at one of the events, we had a chat about it. I made it clear that I'd like that to happen, and we got this paperwork within a few weeks. Got the paperwork signed, and that was it basically.
So you mentioned that your dad is Scottish, so presumably you were eligible to play for England as well then?
Yes, I was, because my mum is English, and I was obviously born in England. But I just felt, with Commonwealth Games at the time, my event still isn't in it, but if my event was in Commonwealth Games, I'd be number 1 in Scotland, and I'd have 2 or 3 people ahead of me for England. So it was
I see.
It was that was part of the decision, but also it's like there's no guarantees that you're going to get selected when you get asked to, represent the country. that's a big honour that you can't turn down, basically. So
you choose Scotland to be in the best chance of completing.
basically,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, it's worked out. It's worked out pretty well. So
It certainly has, because you won 5 goals for Scotland in 2015. I mean, yeah. So you must be pleased with that. Yeah.
that was a big achievement. You know, I'd been the year before I competed for GB juniors and not managed to get on the podium. So being on the podium and hearing the anthem playing was a great experience, and really that kind of made me want to try and go to the next level. But it's a great experience. You can't really describe it to people who haven't actually like been there and done it. Kind of what that moment feels like.
Yeah. And then after 2015, when did you come to university? So when did you go?
2018, I think, was my first year. I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I know. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago now. Yes. So you went to uni. You did, obviously you carried on your career in auto racing,
Yeah.
but you did bucks as well at uni.
Yeah.
And
So yeah. So first couple of times I did bucks, kept on finishing second, which wasn't nice. And then COVID happened, so we didn't have bucks for a couple of years. And you know, last year being my last year at uni, doing the masters, it was a really big like goal for me that I wanted to win. And luckily, on the day everything went right, and I managed to win. And yeah, I haven't felt that good since probably winning those gold medals, like because of when you want something so badly and it actually happens, it makes it feel so much better.
yeah, it certainly does. And so with bucks, you know, I'm aware that there's more able-bodied sports competing in bucks. So to have auto racing must have been pretty.
Yeah, it's great. It's great having the integrated events. Because when you look at some of the names that are at bucks, it's some of the people that are getting selected for Great Britain to go to world championships and Olympics and stuff, and to be in the same kind of event as them is a great experience. If you look back in history at like some of the athletes that have won gold medals at bucks and then gone on to do stuff at major championships, it's when you think about that, my name is like a bucks champion now is with those people, and
Yeah.
it kind of is. It feels a bit weird, but it's kind of a great feeling for me, to be fair.
Yeah. And during your time at uni, you did your undergraduate, you got your masters, you completed in bucks, and you were captain after Ash, weren't you? You were captain of the athletics.
Yeah, so that was a great opportunity for me that I didn't think was going to come to me. I thought somebody else would have got picked for that, but yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it. I had lots of people around me helping me do my job as that, trying to juggle everything. So I'm making sure I was actually doing my job.
So if you could explain what exactly your role as captain of a team actually involves.
Basically, it was kind of like making sure everybody's organised. So when we go to bucks, making sure everybody's entered properly, like talking with the staff to try and get hotel rooms booked for bucks and stuff, and making sure kit's ready and all of that kind of stuff. Not much of the fun stuff.
No, it's very, very serious when it comes to that sort of role.
Yeah, we wouldn't get to bucks without somebody taking charge and doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, thankfully for you, it was only about a year, wasn't it?
I I was captain technically during the COVID years as well, but there wasn't much going on, so I effectively wasn't.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
But yeah, wasn't much I needed to do. So
yeah, so you touched on kind of that. We won't go into too much detail about that, but what was your normal sporting routine? Obviously changed when the pandemic set in.
yeah.
Yeah. So, how did it go for you with the sporting side of things?
There weren't that many competitions, so I actually kind of I tried to train as if it was going to finish and as if competitions were still going to be on. But after a couple of months, when we realised actually it was kind of serious and this was going to go on for like a prolonged period of time, it was kind of like I couldn't go to the track and train, I couldn't go to the gym and train. I had to do everything at home. I had to do roller sessions, so where I'm just sat there not moving, but the wheels are moving, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it got to a point after a couple of months of doing that every day, mentally I just couldn't do it anymore. And that's when I decided, right, I need a bit of a break, otherwise I'm going to hate doing it. Like, what I've always tried to do is kind of not make it feel like it's my job to do it, like to do it because I want to do it. And at that point, it got to a point after a couple of months of COVID where it was like trying to train every day. I wasn't enjoying it anymore because it was the same. It felt like the same thing every day. So that's when I kind of said to myself, like, I'm going to do a bit of what I want, kind of when I want. I'm not going to get too unfit but everybody's kind of in the same situation. So if I get a bit unfit, then, everybody else is going to be kind of the same. So that was difficult mentally. Obviously, it was difficult, like trying to train for a couple of months without any competitions on. And yeah, once we knew the competitions were cancelled for the year, then that's when I was kind of like, I need to have a bit of a break and just do what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sort of going back to fun times, I've got written down here that according to, well, I'm going to say according to because it's not verified if it's right or not. So I'm not going to get blamed for this. So apparently, with the team Solent clubs, you were the first you were the first silver double medalist for Solent University in box outdoors back in 2019 when you got the two. And apparently that's from them, not from me. So I'm not going to remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you must be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, as far as I know, that's right. I didn't know until staff at Solent told me that was the case. I didn't know, but yeah, it's a great thing for me. Like, for me, as soon as I joined university, I always wanted to be part of Bucks and represent the university and not just go to events doing it for myself.
Yeah.
Bucks to me has always been an important thing. And like as a kid, I never really thought I could be involved in like university sports. So to be able to represent Solent at Bucks and then end up winning medals and stuff is great. And it kind of made it worth the work and worth all the work of all the people at Solent that helped me.
Yeah. And also at the time at Solent, you helped with Kelly, with Bish, all the HPA side of things. So presumably you started that when you came to uni.
Yeah, they were amazing. Basically anything I needed, I would get help with. And when you're trying to juggle uni work and training and lots of other stuff, it does get quite hard, and it does really help when you've got people that will literally do everything they can to help you and support you. And that's I've been lucky with the people I've had around me, not just at uni, but ever since I started, really, people that would do what they can to help in every way. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's the mention that the HPA stands for High Performance Academy. So they sort of like give you, a schedule of your workload and then your supporting load and supporting you if you need it for, whatever. And obviously, most of the time, it's Kelly that.
Yeah.
Kelly is the main person to go to. Pushing
Yeah.
that's a sort of at the side sort of thing, but Kelly is the main person in that.
Literally kept me sane for 5 years.
Yeah. But no, everyone did their part, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, so what degree did you do at uni?
So I did, my undergrad was applied sports science, and then my master's was sports science and performance coaching.
And presumably, when you do retire at some stage, that's your preferred route to go down?
Yeah, I think so. I'm already kind of helping out athletes in the club, doing coaching stuff. So that's the kind of thing I want to go down. But I wouldn't say no to anything really. Is that I'd give anything a go. But yeah, I think that's the route I really want to kind of go down once I've retired.
So your near future. So I mean, Paris is it? What's the next step for you?
Look, it's difficult. It's difficult. The way that British athletics pick the teams, it makes it difficult for people to get on the team.
Okay.
But that's because we want the best people there, right? That's the whole point. The whole point of taking people to Paralympics is because we want to win.
Yes.
And we want to take the people that are going to or have a chance of winning. And
get in the middle.
I'm kind of in that annoying range of I'm not at the elite level, but I'm not at a bang average level. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, and I have been for a while. And I'm just hoping, this year maybe I kind of hopefully bridge the gap a little bit and get towards the guys that are at the top in the UK. And then, but it's not just whether they're the best in the UK how the team's picked. It's basically based on world ranking as well. And
okay.
There are some ridiculously good athletes from all around the world. So to get high up on the world rankings is very, very difficult. And I'd be silly to sit here and say yes, it's going to happen. I'm definitely going to go to Paris. Like that'd be stupid. You can't see what could happen. But like that's what I'd like to happen. But whether it does happen or not is different. But I feel like with the new coaching setup I've had for a little while now, I feel confident that I'm getting better. I feel confident that I'm getting better from like when I did my PBs a few years ago. I feel like I'm getting better. I feel like I have a clear plan of what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, why we're doing it. And that helps keep me motivated. I find it easier now I've got an actual proper plan of what we're doing to go, yeah, I can see why we're doing stuff. And I feel like if I'm going to get to Paralympics, it's probably going to be this one, or it might not happen. But it's difficult. It's difficult in every sport, not just athletics. But it's especially since 2012, where we've gone from having I think it was me and one or two other people at the time in my class. Now we've got about 12, 13 people. That's not at like the top level, but that's from the younger levels all the way through to the people at the top level. And that's just in the UK. So you're going 12 people or so effectively going for one or two places at the Paralympics. it's difficult, but I hope. I've always got the ambition that I want that, but if I don't get to do that, then at least what I want to do is look back on it and go, I couldn't have given it any more.
Yeah.
I've done everything I could to try and do it if it doesn't happen. So I don't look back on it and regret not having got to that level. Because it is hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we should mention it wasn't just wheelchair racing you did at university. You did bocce for a little while as well.
Yeah, basically just for the social part of it, really. It was good. It was a good laugh. We had good laughs and with some good people, and I really enjoyed it. It was something a bit different. So it was a good experience, and I got 100% record in competition. So
you did. I was going to say. In your first and only competition.
Yeah, so it helps that I wasn't quite in the right classification, but we'll gloss over that one.
Well, no, but no, Barry. But so it was just nice experience for you to try something else, and for it to sort of like fit in with your wheelchair racing helped as well.
It was a nice distraction from how hard the training is and how hard uni was. It's a nice distraction for like a couple of hours every week, like just throwing the balls about and having a good laugh with people. When you were supposed to be taking it seriously, but
we are always trying to take it seriously. But the majority of people in the club are male. It's a male-dominated sport.
Yeah.
Most disabilities are male-dominated anyway. But we do tend to have a bit of banter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of banter about puts of losing each game or whatever. So
I'm glad I'm not there talking about Bournemouth losing every game at the moment.
Yeah, you're not doing particularly well, are you?
No.
No.
And I won't don't get me started on that, because I could be here all day talking about that.
Of course. And so, you mentioned earlier that you're, you really look back on your career and say that everything I could do. If you don't end up going to a Paralympics or going up to that high level of playing, would you consider doing some coaching with the athletes that will end up going to some sort of high level?
That's the goal. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. If I can't do it myself, I'd like to help other people get there. That's doing the sports science degree. That's what, and being interested in sports science and that kind of thing. That's basically your job, is to help do everything you can in your area to try and get the athletes to that level, and that's what I want to do. I don't mind which sport it is or whatever. I'd give anything a go, and it's just nice actually to have something to kind of fall back on. Like, it's getting to the point now where at the end of each season I'm probably going to be evaluating, whether I'm going to carry on or not.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have something, right, I've got that. So if I do decide, what, I've done well, I've done the best I can, then it's nice to have something that I can fall back on, kind of thing, that lots of athletes don't have in other sports. They're just, you can tell they're athletes in other sports that they literally just do their sport until they're mid-30s or whatever, and then they don't have anything after that.
Yeah.
And that's when problems potentially. So I'm lucky to have that.
Yeah. And is it sports science or is it performing coaching, or you don't mind?
I always thought that when I did my uni, like, I wasn't particularly outstanding in one area. I was kind of solid at most areas, so there wasn't really one thing that really stood out. So I which isn't a bad thing.
No.
But it doesn't really help when you're trying to narrow down what exactly you want to do. But I just want to be involved in sport in some way, hopefully helping athletes in whatever way that I can, really.
Yeah, that's a good goal to have, isn't it? To have some sort of backup plan. If things don't go your way, at least you've got another option out
Yeah,
there
exactly.
to help in other ways. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and yeah, that's all the questions. Have you got anything else to sort of mention or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'll stop the recording and then we can.
Voice. Let's go. Voice FM.